Alright, so I made it in the stand. We still got a few minutes here before daylight. I'm already hearing some shots off to the sides. Rifle season isn't like my favorite thing in the world, but I'm doing it because like it's another way to hunt, you know what I mean? Like I'd much rather be out here with my bow, and I still could. Kind of puts me in a weird spot. All I'm gonna do now is sit and wait. Big buck, bear, or a doe. One of those three, we're in business. I'll pick you guys up if we see anything. It's almost 11 o'clock right now. I haven't seen anything yet, and my dad hasn't either, but we've been hearing gunshots around. They kind of slowed down after the first couple hours. Probably heard like at least half a dozen shots or so. It is cold though. Where's my boot? It's got like a giant hole in it somewhere, so my socks are soaked. No good. That doe was probably about the size of a German Shepherd. That thing was tiny. I heard it rustling off to my side, and I was thinking it was a squirrel. So I focused in, was watching, and I saw a little bit of movement. I could tell it was a deer. And then after I saw its face, I was like, nah, that thing's small. And then especially when it got right under me, like, I don't know, 5-10 yards. I could definitely tell it wasn't a big one, but that's the first deer I've seen since rifle season started, so it's a good sign. That's the first buck I've seen here since rifle season's opened up. He came right through the same path. He might have even been following that doe. It's been probably an hour and a half or so since she's been through here. I was this close, you know. I was like, is he big enough? Is he not? Yeah, he was pretty small. Still pretty cool though. It is freezing this morning. I was at a standstill with those deer for, it felt like forever, probably at least 5 to 10 minutes. That one that I ended up shooting came in first, and this doe that was like all messed up was coming in. I was gonna try to shoot her, but by the time she walked off, this one was still staring at me. So I ended up having to shoot her, but there was actually 4 of them together, I believe, because they all started to run along this field edge after I shot. She ran around, fell right down over here. Let's go check her out. She didn't go far at all. I shot her right over there. She did a big circle, landed right here. Here she is right here, guys. She's not a bad sized doe. Like I said, I was sitting in that old chicken coop over there. So they came out right here. I was at a standstill forever. And after I finally got a shot at her, she ran around right down to here. And the rest of them ran across that field ledge. Alright guys, so I finally got my rifle doe. I've been out here trying to shoot one with a rifle for the past couple weeks now. It's definitely been way more challenging than I thought it'd be. This is the first big doe I've seen since rifle season. I could have shot that one earlier on, but that thing was like the size of a dog, so As far as rifle, I use a 6.5 PRC. I've been using this for the past few years now, and I really like it. Alright guys, so after a long rifle season, I finally managed to get a doe, and we're going to cook it up today. And I think what we're going to attempt doing here is a venison Philly cheesesteak. This recipe is super simple. All I'm using is a pound of ground venison, a whole green pepper, half an onion, and then as far as seasonings, I'm just going to be using salt and pepper. So first off, we're just going to season this up. Don't need a whole lot, just like that. Go on with some salt. And I feel like when you just use salt and pepper, you get a good flavor of whatever you're actually cooking. So if you want to know what the animal tastes like, that's a pretty safe bet to go with. And then we're just going to mix it all together so that it's all evenly covered. Now let's move on to the pepper and onion. So with peppers, I'm not too good at this. Just cut it down the side like that. Look at all those seeds in there. You do not want those unless you want it like spicier, I guess. But I'm really just going to cut this up. I know this isn't the right way, but that's how I'm going to do it. And then next, I'm just going to take my peppers, rinse them off real good, make sure none of the seeds are stuck onto it. And then I like to cut the top part off right here. We still got some more skin right there, that helps a little bit. And then I'm sure there's a proper way to do this, but I just start dicing. So your eyes will start to water. This is no joke. I am not even joking about how bad these onions are burning my eyes. Like, they are watering so much. Look at all that, we got it all diced up. I feel like there's a lot of onion here, but this is what I normally do. We're gonna take some good old Pam spray. Get it all up in there. Like so. I got about 2 tablespoons of butter right there. Chuck that in, swirl it around, make sure it melts down. Butter is just about fully melted, so now we're going to go ahead and add our onions and peppers here. See if we can get them in there. Yeah, I definitely used too many onions, but I think it'll be alright. Give these guys a quick stir. And I'm going to wait till these guys brown and like crinkle up a little bit before I add my meat, just to make sure that they're cooked down all the way. Now it's time to add a little bit of meat to our onions here. Like so. Once I finish mixing and tossing this all around, I'm going to let this sit for probably 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and stir it and then let it sit again. Now it's time to add some cheese. I don't know as if this really matters. I just use whatever I have lying around, so we're going to use some shredded mozzarella and then some of these just standard slices of cheese right here. Not exactly sure how many of each I'm going to need. We're going to start off with a little bit and then go from there. Guys, it is honestly smelling really good right now. I'd say this is about ready to go, and now we're going to make our Philly cheesesteak. I'm just using hot dog buns because that's what I had. It'll work good enough. Just going to take a little bit of that. Throw it on one side like that. There you go, guys. That is a finished venison Philly cheesesteak. All right, there you go. That's what it's looking like. Might not look the best, but I'm pretty sure it's going to taste good. All right, let's see how it goes. That's like a 9 out of 10. That thing is awesome. If you're like me and you eat wild game, venison, whatever, all the time, I think it's important to mix it up a little bit, or else you're just gonna get bored of it. Don't be afraid to try stuff like this. It's different. You might not think about it, but I promise you, if a recipe calls for beef, if you throw on venison, it's gonna taste just as good. So I would highly recommend you guys trying this and whatever other creations you guys can come up with. This is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.